What are the 5 best neighborhoods in Decatur, Alabama? I'm going to walk you through 5 that are ranked and tell you where each one is actually not a good fit, because that's the part most rankings actually leave out. I'm Clint Peters with Real Broker. I've lived here in North Alabama for almost 50 years, and I've helped buyers all over Decatur, Hartsville, Huntsville, Madison, and Athens. One quick thing about Decatur before we dive too far into these rankings is we tend to think here in terms of areas of town more than actual subdivision names. Southeast Decatur is going to feel a little bit different than Southwest. Burningtree feels different from Old Decatur. So I'm ranking the areas I'd want you to understand first, not the names of the actual subdivisions. The prices I'm referencing here also are based on recent average sales prices heading into 2026. They are not a promise of what every home will cost, but they should help give you a realistic starting point. So let's start at number 5, Southwest Decatur. This side of town is going to be a mix of older homes, established subdivisions, and new residential growth. You're close to Beltline Road, Highway 31, so you're going to be close to shopping, restaurants, grocery stores, all those kind of good things that everybody likes to be close to. On price, Southwest is usually one of your most affordable ways into Decatur. The baseline average home price here moving into 2026 is right around $300,000, which can run noticeably under what you're going to pay in higher demand Burningtree or Point Mallard areas. If you're trying to stay under a certain monthly payment, then this is probably where I'd look first. Southwest is often where I'd start if you're looking for value, but the average price alone doesn't tell the whole story. Condition, lot, age, and exact pocket of where you are in Southwest is going to matter a lot here. The trade-off is that Southwest is very area specific. One street can feel different from the next. Some pockets are strong and well kept. Others may not be what you're expecting if you're coming from out of town and only looking at listing photos. This is where local knowledge matters. Don't just look at the house. Drive the area and at different times of the day. Check the nearby roads, pay attention to what is happening around the property. The best fit are going to be buyers who want value, convenience, and are willing to be specific about the exact pocket they buy in. Probably not the best fit if you want a polished, uniform subdivision feel everywhere you go. Number 4 is Southeast Decatur, and has long been one of the most familiar, established parts of town, especially for local buyers. You're going to get mature neighborhoods, tree-lined streets, larger lots in a lot of places, and homes with more character than you usually find in your newer subdivisions. A lot of buyers like that because it feels settled. You're close to schools, shopping, restaurants, medical offices, Point Mallard Water Park, and the river. And you also can get around without constantly fighting traffic. On price, these established homes in this area carry a 2026 average sales baseline of, again, around $300,000, but the appeal is a little bit different. Here, buyers are usually chasing established streets, school proximity, larger lots, and convenience. The downside is age. A lot of these homes, they're going to be a little bit older, and that's not a bad thing. Older homes can be fantastic, but it means you need to watch the age of the roof, HVAC, plumbing, windows, all those high maintenance things. A beautifully remodeled kitchen's not going to make up for a 20-year-old HVAC system that's actually wheezing like it just ran a 5K. In fact, if you have to replace the HVAC system out of pocket here, you expect a budget around $7,000 to $11,000. And then if you need a roof on top of that, that's another $15,000 you have to worry about at some point. So opportunity here is character, location, and established neighborhoods. The risk could be condition. The best fit here are going to be buyers who want established homes, convenience, mature neighborhoods, and are comfortable with evaluating maintenance. Probably not the best fit if you only want brand new construction with warranties and minimal upkeep. Next up is number 3 on our list, which is going to be Albany and the Old Decatur district, sometimes known as the historic district. So if you want charm, history, sidewalks, old architecture, and proximity to downtown, Albany and Old Decatur needs to be on your radar. These are some of Decatur's most recognizable historic areas. Front porches, mature trees, classic southern character, and easy access to downtown restaurants, the Princess Theater, Delano Park, and the riverfront side of town. This area is going to appeal to people who don't just want a house, they want a sense of place. You're not buying a floor plan, you're buying into an older, more historic part of town. On price, historic homes here are going to have kind of a big range, honestly. It's really going to depend on how much updating has been done, because a restored home and a fixer-upper on the same street can be worlds apart on price. But our 2026 market numbers show the average sales price tracking right at $322,000 at the start of this year. In this area, though, the trade-offs are very real. Historic homes can come with historic home problems. Older foundation, older windows, older plumbing, smaller closets, fewer garage options, and floor plans that don't always match how families live today. Furthermore, because these are protected historic preservation districts, any exterior modifications are most likely going to have to pass through an architectural review board that's going to issue you a certificate of appropriateness for exterior changes. You can't just slap on cheap vinyl sidings on these houses. Matching original wood siding, historic accents can easily add an extra $5,000 to $10,000 to your home maintenance baseline. Inventory can also be limited. The best updated homes here don't usually sit around very long. Now, next up is going to be our number 2 neighborhood, and it's actually one of the most highly requested parts of town for outdoor recreation, but it comes with a massive geographical misconception that catches almost every out-of-state buyer completely off guard. So, let's take a look at Point Mallard. When people think about Decatur's outdoor lifestyle, the Point Mallard area is the one that always jumps into the conversation, because near Point Mallard you have Point Mallard Golf Course, walking trails that run across the river, soccer fields, pickleball courts, tennis courts, all there next to established neighborhoods that are fairly close by. And the homes here are going to vary quite a bit. You got some older homes, custom homes, larger properties, pockets that can feel very different from one another. But the data going into 2026 shows the average sales price for the Point Mallard area to be holding steady at $332,000. One thing I do want to be clear about here, when people from out of town hear River City, they assume Decatur has a ton of Riverview neighborhoods. That's not really how Decatur works. A lot of the riverfront and the river adjacent land is tied up in parks, industry, or commercial property, or the refuge and controlled by TVA. So Riverview homes are not really readily available. So if you're expecting endless Riverview homes like some lake markets, Decatur's going to surprise you in that aspect. This area will give you proximity to the river and lifestyle and recreation, but it doesn't really have homes with river views. Best fit is going to be buyers who want recreation, established neighborhoods, access to trails, golf, maybe the Point Mallard Park. It's probably not the best fit if your main goal is a true Riverview home with a private dock. Those just really don't exist here. And now, number 1 on our list would be Burningtree. This is the area I bring up most when buyers want more space, larger homes, and actually this is the only area that has homes right on a golf course. And it has great access to I-65 for that commute to Huntsville and Madison. Burningtree has been one of the best known residential areas around Decatur for years. You got larger homes, established lots, golf course properties, and a quieter residential feel. It gives you space, and you don't really have to settle with it being too far from Decatur or the interstate. This area is going to make a lot of sense if you commute towards Huntsville, maybe even towards Coleman, because you have really easy access to I-65, and it also appeals to buyers who just want a little bit more breathing room. On price, this is going to be usually one of the higher end areas around Decatur because of the larger homes, larger lots, the golf course settings. Really don't have a ton of inventory come up here a lot. And the average sales price heading into 2026 for Burningtree was right at $460,000. One word of warning about Burningtree though, if you want to be right in the middle of downtown Decatur activity, this is going to feel a little removed and a little far out from that. The best fit for Burningtree are going to be buyers who want larger homes, space, a golf course and country club feel, and better regional access. Probably not the best fit if you want the historic charm or the walkability of downtown. So what's the best area in Decatur to live? Well, here's the honest answer. It's going to kind of depend. If you want historic charm and easy downtown access, it's got to be Albany or Old Decatur. If you want established neighborhoods and convenience, you're probably leaning Southeast Decatur. If you want recreation, outdoor lifestyle, you're going to want something probably near Point Mallard. And if you want more space and a higher end feel and love that golf course feel, Burningtree is your answer. If you want value, Southwest Decatur all day long, as long as you're careful about the exact location. One of the biggest mistakes buyers tend to make is asking the question, what's the best neighborhood? When really the better question is, what's the best neighborhood or area for how I actually want to live? Because the right answer changes your commute, budget, schools, lifestyle, and how much maintenance you're willing to take on. If you want to bypass the guesswork entirely, I built a completely free, salesperson-free tool on my website. It's our 2026 affordability calculator. You can click the link in the description below, plug any of these potential sales prices in, and get a better idea of what your future monthly budget may actually look like. It's not a replacement for talking with a lender, but it will give you a realistic starting point before you start chasing those listings online. I also put together a comprehensive Decatur neighborhood guide that breaks down each major area, what it feels like, who it fits, and what to know before you even start shopping. The link is in the description as well. And if you're just trying to figure out where you want to be, whether it's Decatur, Hartselle, Huntsville, Madison, or somewhere else in North Alabama, reach out. I'm happy to help you think through the trade-offs of each area before you start looking online. I'm Clint Peters with Real Broker. I'll see you on the next one.